Pantry meals don't have to be boring. This mac and cheese is creamy, cheesy, and topped with a golden crunch. And the best part? You can dress it up with whatever you've got on hand. Corn, peas, leftover chicken, even chili if you want to go bold. And yes, I'm adding corn. I grew up with it, and to me it just tastes right. Hi friend, today we are going to build a silky cheese sauce. Stir it through tender pasta, then finish with buttery breadcrumbs that crisp up beautifully in the oven. Let's make some comfort food together. Fresh vegetables are optional, but they do add some depth. I'm mincing one onion, but onion powder works just fine if that's what you have. I prefer a fine mince as it cooks down into the sauce and melts into the background instead of leaving big onion bites. That's just personal preference though. Garlic is another easy addition here. Fresh cloves sauteed with the onion or a shake of garlic powder later in the sauce. Onions and garlic both contain natural sugars which caramelize as they cook. That little bit of browning brings out sweetness and complexity that balances the richness of the cheese sauce. I'm making an 8 by 8 pan today. To figure out how much pasta to cook, I just pour dry noodles into the pan until it comes a little under halfway up the sides. After boiling, it almost perfectly fills the pan. Generous enough for dinner with some leftovers. For reference, that came to about 6 servings by weight for this pan. If you are adding a lot of mix-ins like chicken or vegetables, add about 1 inch or a quarter to a third of the height of the pan of dried pasta to account for the space of the additions. This trick works for any shaped pasta, but keep in mind that different shapes hold sauce differently. Elbow macaroni is classic, but shells, cavatappi, and rotini are great because all those curves and ridges grab onto sauce and hold it. To caramelize the onion, cook it slowly in butter and oil until lightly browned or deeper brown for more flavor. While the salted pasta water is coming to a boil, I get the sauce going. I've got a full video all about cheese sauce, but here's the quick version. And just a note, normally when I make this, I caramelize the onion first, then build the sauce in the same pan. No need to wash extra dishes. For the cheese sauce, into the pan goes about 2 tablespoons of butter. Once melted, stir in an equal amount of flour, and that's your roux. Let it cook about 2 to 3 minutes to take away the raw flour taste. Then whisk in about 1 cup of milk to start. That roux, the butter plus flour, is what thickens the sauce. The fat coats the flour granules, and when you add liquid and heat, the starches swell and thicken. This is the same trick behind gravies, stews, and even some chowders. Keep whisking as it thickens and add more milk as needed depending on how thick or thin you like your sauce. Now for the cheese. Melt it in slowly, letting each handful dissolve before adding more. This helps prevent graininess. For flavor, I highly recommend a strong cheese like sharp cheddar. It gives the sauce character. That said, use what you have. Today, I used cheddar jack, which is a little mild. A mild sauce can be great if you plan to bulk it up with flavor extras like chicken, beans, or veggies. A stronger cheese works better when the sauce is the star. Softer cheeses with more moisture melt creamier, but they can turn oily if overheated. Harder aged cheeses melt less smoothly but bring bold flavor. A mix often gives the best of both worlds. Once melted, season the sauce with salt, pepper, onion powder, and garlic powder. Optional extras, try smoked paprika for a subtle campfire flavor, or a dash of Tabasco for a little heat. By now, the pasta's ready. I like to undercook it slightly. If the box says 8 minutes, I stop it at 6. It'll finish cooking in the oven and soak up sauce as it bakes. This carries the flavor into the pasta. Before draining, save about a cup of pasta water. That starchy water is like liquid gold, perfect for loosening a sauce without watering it down. Now, here's where you can get creative. I stir in frozen corn. I grew up with it in mac and cheese or Kraft dinner, and to me, it just tastes right. You could also use peas, chicken, white beans, even chili for a chili mac. Cauliflower is another trick. Puree it into the sauce for a stealthy veggie boost. This only works if you like cauliflower and don't find it bitter. Puree in cottage cheese for a protein boost. What about you? How do you like to jazz up mac and cheese? Drop your favorite combos in the comments. I'd love to hear them. I added the frozen corn to the hot pasta to thaw the corn and slow down the cooking process on the pasta. Add in your additions, then pour in the cheese sauce and onions and give everything a good stir. If the sauce feels too thick, loosen it with that pasta water or a splash more milk. Remember, it should look a little runny now. The noodles will soak up extra liquid in the oven and the roux will continue to thicken the sauce. And you don't want dry mac and cheese. Now for the topping. Leave it plain if you want, or sprinkle on more cheese for that cheese pull. I love to change things up, and today is a breadcrumb topping, made with about a cup of toasted breadcrumbs tossed with 2 to 3 tablespoons of melted butter. Simple, golden, and crunchy. If you want to do something different, try cornflakes tossed with butter for a retro twist, or crushed crackers for an extra buttery crunch. Whatever you choose, the topping is where you can add texture and personality. Another bonus, this freezes beautifully. Double the recipe, bake one tonight, and freeze the other for later. Wrap it tightly to prevent drying out in the freezer. You can bake it straight from frozen, just add extra time in the oven. This is perfect for busy weeks. And there you go, creamy, cheesy, and crunchy topped mac and cheese. Easy, pantry friendly, and endlessly customizable. If you like learning how to make simple filling meals and meal prepping, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I have more pantry meals and money-saving staples coming your way. Thanks for hanging out with me.